Hello everybody, we are going to be just hopping straight into Mythic Reborn versus Peeker's Advantage here. I realize my stream is in the background and that's going to be an absolute nightmare for me. Bam, there we are. Just starting things off here, on the side of Mythic Reborn it is Calm, Katie, Flom, Hazed, and Silent, and then on Peeker's Advantage we have Davey, Maui Snake, Simphis, Cutler, and Swisher. And speaking of which, our first frag is going to go the way of Mythic on the T side, just starting off here. We're hopping straight into this one. I didn't have any assets prepared, so really I'm very caught off guard. One thing that's important to keep in mind is that Katie is going to be lurking B alone, waiting for her teammates to come around here, entering into the B site with Bomb, where Cutler will be waiting, finds one frag before getting traded out by Calm. Simphis will fall shortly after at the hands of Katie, who will then go ahead and plant the bomb. Maui Snake and Davey versus the four remaining members of Mythic Reborn here. It's important to note that Davey does have a kit on hand. It's going to be far from an easy task, but it is technically winnable. Davey trying to look for a peek while Maui Snake goes out lower towards Graffiti. Spots Calm. If you can find the head, though, that's a completely different challenge, especially when Davey's just going to be stuck on 1 HP. And I think right here, Peeker's Advantage are going to call it, and it should be a first round in the way of Mythic Reborn. And really, that's how you do want to start things off here. Quick bomb plant, and then really just a kind of a suffocating amount of pressure to make sure that they can't even bother to enter the site here. Maui Snake trying to make a exit frag happen. Unfortunately, Calm is able to take care of that, and that's really just salt in the wound at this point, really. Davey will stay alive with 1 HP and keep that defuse kit, and we'll be choosing to buy up a CC75 on top of it. Cutler, the only one buying any sort of upgraded gun, minus pistols, of course. That Mac or MP9 in hand. Smoke out towards mid. Maui Snake will look and try to take a shot over it. Unfortunately, no dice. Mythic Reborn are going to be going out just a little bit after that flash has all of its use taken care of here. Pop into bathrooms from Flom. Cutler on the other side waiting. Unfortunately, that MP9 doesn't do him any good whatsoever, and he gets taken care of very quickly. But a good shot from Maui Snake. That might be exactly what the doctor ordered for Peeker's Advantage here. It's still a 4 versus 3. And it's going to be a very hard ask, especially with Simphis going down like that. 2 versus 4. Swisher on the other side towards CT will toss out all of his utility that he has available, but this should be a free bomb plant for Mythic Reborn. They're being careful with it, though. As Davey goes down, looks like they're in no rush whatsoever. Calm will go ahead and finish things up. Really, Mythic, they didn't even need to get that bomb down because Peeker's Advantage were just walking into their crosshairs almost immediately as they took that A site. Not a good start for Peeker's Advantage, but there's still a lot of Counter-Strike to be played. Also, one thing I really want to point out is that Maui Snake, true to their name, is actually playing from Hawaii, sitting at 100 ping right now. And interesting setup. You see Cutler and Swisher both have nades on hand. I would imagine that they want to go for a nade stack towards water, with Simphis being possibly one to peek. What is going on there? I don't want to go ahead and take a look at that. What I do want to take a look up is how Flom is going to try to enter this B site here. Finds 1, finds 2. No problem for Flom whatsoever here. All of Peeker's Advantage are falling right now. Simphis eats a grenade before getting a pick. Actually, he's gotten 2 so far. Bomb will get planted and will be left up to him, but he's done an alright amount of damage. I think that floating complexity spray is going to be haunting my dreams for a good while, though. Oh, Simphis, I'm really surprised Hayes actually wanted to take that fight for an extended amount of time. That was a dangerous fight to take. Hayes will come out on top nonetheless, but he was dinked, and really the P250 just unfortunately did not quite connect on its shots. And Mythic Reborn, will go out of that round relatively healthy, with 3 players left alive. This is where things start getting interesting, though. This is our first gun round. Simphis has an op in hand, while Flom has his as well. Flom going over towards blue right now, trying to spot someone. Maui Snake will not comply. Standard monster hold from Katie as well. She's done a fantastic job at really just making sure nothing gets out of hand, but really passive positions from Mythic Reborn And what is that angle from Flom? I absolutely love that. I've never seen that before. But it is damn beautiful. Slowly making their way over towards long is Mythic here. Pop Flash will go ahead and mark the beginning of some sort of map coverage. But Mythic, despite that utility usage, a relatively high utility usage I should mention, from Peeker's advantage as well, don't seem scared. They have plenty on their side, and Sempis is not in a good place right now. He might be able to find one frag, but should get quickly traded out considering how Mythic are playing this, and he's not even going to get that one. Cutler and Maui Snake will both chime in with a couple of kills of their own. Bomb is down towards bathrooms, and this has suddenly gotten very interesting, especially since Maui Snake takes down Katie, who's trying to sneak up behind. I guess wasn't aware of his position. It'll be up to Hayes and Flom to go ahead and try to drag Mythic Reborn over the line for that 4th round. They have the bomb in hand, but they don't have a lot of time to get anything done with it. 14 seconds, and Maui Snake just going to go ahead and take care of them both. No problem for him. A quad kill for Maui Snake. Fantastic round. And that's how you do it. 100 ping is no problem for this man. As he will sit at 5 kills. Early on in the game, sure, but still topping the scoreboard nonetheless. Mythic Reborn, it looks like they're going to be choosing for a lot of Kriegs, with Katie included. And I can tell you this for sure, that Katie's definitely not a big fan of the Krieg. I'll see if she can show off why it is so OP. And oh, this is an interesting position for Maui Snake, isn't it? Up towards Party. We'll get taken out. Good flash from Flom to allow Silent to take care of that. Made it so that flank was relatively ineffective. I'm not sure if they hurt him or if he was just a victim of chance. Sempis, second man holding down mid here, will be backing up from position and eating quite a bit of Molotov damage. Swisher will go ahead and find a frag over towards B. That's Katie, that everlasting B anchor. Bomb will get picked up over towards long. So this isn't the end of times for Mythic Reborn just yet. It's not fine losing a player like that, but considering it's still 4-on-4 and you're making your way up towards A, you can't be too unhappy with this. Cutler, be ready to receive the 3, soon to be 4 terrorists coming around the corner. Jump spot, yields no information. He'll stay passive. Hayes, now pushing in, looking for a first man. Spots one. Flom will go ahead and find that first frag. Cutler quickly traded it out, but it's not good enough. Hayes will go ahead and find 2 of them, leaving it up to Davey, who's not even going to bother. He doesn't want to try losing his gun here. He has an M4A1 in hand. Interesting choice, but we'll go ahead and retrieve the retrieve the Krieg of Katie. Surprisingly hard to say. That should be okay. I believe Davey actually might drop down here. He is trying to go for that sneaky ledge position. Fortunately, it looks like he just missed it. Flom will go ahead and retrieve his op, get what is rightfully his. 1-4 now for Mythic Reborn. It's going to be a relatively standard eco buy for Peeker's advantage here. Lots of deagles, a little bit of utility on Davey and Swisher. Not a lot of armor buy up. Actually, we do see Maui Snake actually choosing to buy full armor here, so he's down to 1700, the lowest in the server. I'm not exactly sure if I agree with that, but they're the ones playing an MDL, not me. Katie still doing a fantastic job holding down B. Hopefully doesn't lose her life this time. As Calm watches blue, things are relatively quiet for now. Cutler on the receiving end of anyone who tries to push up towards connector. He will actually be trying to find a little bit of information. He knows that at least one person's over towards mid, so he has to be a bit scared of that, considering there's no one on his team to help him out. And the first shot will go the way of Calm here. It's no longer all quiet on the western front. That Krieg makes it so it's no problem versus those deagles. Let's see if Maui Snake has any better luck. Yeah, no, it's not working out very well for him. 9-1. Calm is doing fantastic right now. I haven't even really paid too much attention, but he has cleaned things up. Sure, it's 3 kills on an eco round, nothing to go crazy about, but might be a good sign of the times if they can keep this performance up here. Peaker's Advantage still looking for that elusive second round, and really they're not even going to get even close to that. Peaker's Advantage, again, most likely just zoned out of this round. They will have a creek to take home as Silent goes down. I think Semphis will go ahead and try to find a gun of his own as well. And really, this has been really good for Mythic Reborn. It feels like they're only losing like 1-2 players. And oh my goodness, Semphis, you're playing with fire there. Nearly loses his life at the hands of Flom. And I'm not sure if Flom is going to be expecting where Davey is holding here. Semphis goes down. Davey trying to exact some revenge. Misses a few shots, but gets it nonetheless. And that's the offer down, so not all is lost for Peaker's Advantage. Oh, you got to chase down that. All right, perfect. Davey is able to get that op. So, it's not beautiful, that's for damn sure, but it's something that Peaker's Advantage can work for. They're going to be choosing to buy into this as much as they possibly can here, and it's going to look pretty damn gorgeous for them. Double op setup, light utility on Semphis, also with half armor, but he hasn't really had the chance to use a lot of this utility late on in the round. And it looks like Mythic Reborn, though, they're just going to go ahead and try to up the pace extremely quickly here. Pushing out towards B. Switcher has to use his Molotov, or excuse me, has to use a smoke just to take care of that Molotov. B rotates will happen extremely quickly, but Mythic Reborn, they're not stopping the pace at all. Hayes will find one, looking to find the second, and actually gets it done. It's a 4 versus 2 as they enter the site. Bomb isn't even down yet, and Hayes is on for a 3K right now. Flom will go ahead and steal one, denying the ace from him, but it's Semphis left in a 1-on-4. That double op setup did nothing, absolutely nothing for Peaker's Advantage. Semphis will do his best to try to keep his op, excuse me. Might be able to find Katie here. There it is, nice shot. But now that gives away his position. Mythic, they can collapse around him, or they can just let him be. I would imagine they're going to be trying to chase him. Silent has the right idea, but Semphis, so smart on it. Unfortunately, doesn't quite hit the shot. So now this is where things start getting scary. It's like an old classic horror film with a chase scene like this. Silent has to be careful with how he does this as well, considering he's only on 26 HP. But everyone's starting to collapse around Semphis right now. And if he gets away with this off, it's going to be an absolute miracle. And wow, he actually gets away with it. That's pretty crazy. And again, Peaker's Advantage. They're going to keep a little bit of a tokens, or a few tokens, excuse me, to head into this next coming round. But their economy is starting to get really brittle by now. Davey with an M4A1 and Semphis with an AWP are pretty much the only players you would expect to do any sort of significant damage on Mythic Reborn here, who's sitting at 6-1 right now. They're looking good. Flom waiting for a flash from Hayes and taking mid control very easily. I really like how Mythic Reborn are still being very cautious about this. Even though it's an eco round, most likely, they know that they, at the very least, save that op. They don't want to try to play with fire as much as they possibly can here. Cutler is in an interesting position over towards bathroom. Hayes will find the first one. That's Semphis, he offered down. But Cutler is kind of in a one-dumb position. He's not even going to get his one. Flom is just continuing on a roll right now, sitting on 2. And this is absolutely zero trouble at all for Mythic Reborn. Davey will be last one left alive with an M4A1 in hand. Finds one on the Flom. And has an idea where Silent may be. But Silent, did you just hit that? That was, oh, that's kind of gross. A jumping shot to close out round number 8. And it's going to be 7-1 right now for Mythic Reborn. They're looking fantastic. Another day, another op for Peaker's Advantage here. This time it's going to be on Davey. I guess Semphis wants to go ahead and call it quits on it for now, considering it hasn't worked out for them so far. Flom looking to peek out towards mid. Davey will actually come out on top. This is a really, really good start for Peaker's Advantage now. And it's a 4 versus 5. That's something they've desperately had a lack of for nearly this entire half so far. A lot of Counter-Strike to be played. Katie trying to do a little bit of damage perhaps over towards B. Notice that she's sitting in water now, which is a lot more aggressive than we're kind of used to her having. Usually she's sitting over towards Monster. Perhaps this change of pace might just be the trick, and I would imagine Mythic If they can hold down this area for long enough, might want to rotate their forces over towards B. Looks like I might be wrong, though. Silent will go ahead and toss the smoke over towards A. Sempus hears it. Will remain in this corner. He somehow actually manages to find a shot onto Davey. The opper down again. This op has seriously not been working out for Peeker's advantage. But Sempus with a rifle might be able to get something done here. The shadow isn't given away, and Sempus is going to be able to find the kill. Maui Snake with another one on top of that as well. Katie and Hayes will go ahead and try to make their way to B ASAP here, knowing that Cutler is going to be waiting with that M4 in hand. This is where things start getting tough for Mythic Reborn here. 2 versus 4 is going to require almost a miracle to pull off, especially with a mist smoke like that. Hack the low HP Hayes sitting with the op, trying to clear out barrels, trying to clear out all these angles, but it's really going to be on Katie to try to make this round shine right now. So it's all on her. 10 seconds left. It's going to take a miracle. Cutler will take down Hayes. Katie finds 2 actually, but there's not enough time, and unfortunately that's just going to be it. It was a nice 2 PS at the very end from Katie, but can't quite work out for them. Just not enough time on the clock to work with. Not enough utility either, and will be finally a second round on the board for Peeker's advantage. That 4 versus 5 really seemed to seemed to change around in their favor. At last, their drought is over, and they will be returning to a double op setup. This time, Davey is going to be dropping it in favor of Cutler. Usually not someone I think of as an opper, but really, Sempus didn't either. Mythic are just going to be going back to same old, same old. Katie prodding over towards B. Mid control being taken by Hayes and Flom. Silent will be going ahead and trying to help out this time around. Calm sitting in blue. Now I think is in an interesting position. Aggressive long. And another 4 versus 5 as Flom goes down. Their opper taken care of, so they don't have to worry about that sniper for now. Hayes tries to trade it out, but ends up eating nothing but grenade damage instead. It's a 4 versus 5. Hayes desperately trying to look for some sort of way to even this up. Katie might be in for a harsh surprise, though. Maui Snake has gotten towards Monster and hears so much information, knows at least one person's there. And that call tells all. Hayes is going to get taken down by Sempus again on that op. He's been doing fantastic so far. Star on Peeker's advantage and a relatively dull performance thus far. And again, Maui Snake just has so much information. He knows it's most likely not going to be B, or if it actually ends up being that site, he's going to be the first one to know. Doors should be opening soon. Maui Snake gets one before getting traded out. That's thanks to Katie, who will then be tossing out a smoke over towards Heaven. Silent will now be trying to enter in, where Cutler is going to be ready and waiting with open arms. 15 seconds, and again, I feel like I'm just getting deja vu here. It's another situation where it ends up at the B site here. There's not a lot of time to work with. Silent will find 1 kill for his trouble, but nothing more. 3rd round on the board for Peeker's advantage, and it felt like it went the exact same way as round number 10 did. Or, excuse me, round number 9. That early 4 versus 5 advantage for Peeker, 4 versus 5 for Peeker's advantage, excuse me. And Mythic Reborn really playing it super slow and then just deciding to go B. Not really getting a lot of map control, so not exactly a fantastic past couple of rounds for Mythic Reborn, but they still have a solid lead. Very close to winning this half, in fact. They're going to go ahead and try to make things a little bit faster this time around. Early long control taken with Silent rifling. Spots 1. Actually gets taken out. The trade is not quite in there from Flom, so it's going to be up to Hayes to try to do his due diligence, excuse me. It's a 3 versus 4. Katie, the other person with a rifle on the server, will go ahead and try to help out her teammate. Calm, who's waiting towards bathrooms. He does have to indeed stay calm. He only has a P250 in hand here. Spots 1. Katie has to be ready to receive, or at the very least trade things out. Hayes, he's playing super passive right now, because Mythic don't exactly have a lot of utility to work with. So this is going to be a nearly impossible site take at this point for Mythic, I would imagine. I'd also imagine that they're probably going to try biding their time as much as possible until the very last moment where they could just burst onto the site, try to isolate as many fights as possible. It's going to start with Katie, who finds that first shot, but Maui Snake will be ready on the other side, but it's not going to be good enough. Hayes takes him down, and it's now going to be a bomb planted, and things are looking really good for Mythic Reborn. I nearly counted them out considering that man disadvantage that they had, also including a couple of players who don't exactly have a lot of artillery to work with. Note, Hayes and Calm both don't have armor. Katie, the only player who has both a rifle and armor, and this is an interesting post plant. You see Katie is going to be playing on top of her teammates. Boosted up, spot Swisher, gets a shot. Now it's up to Cutler. 1-on-3 here, can't find that first shot. His position's given away. Bomb is pretty far ticked at this point. He's just going to get a consolation frag, make it a double consolation frag for him, and he will be able to most likely escape with his life. Calm can also share the same news. We'll have an M4 in hand. And overall, Mythic Reborn, that's a round that he should not have counted them really in, honestly. But thanks to some of the heroics from Katie and Hayes, getting a lot of the much-needed map control that they needed over towards Long very early, they were able to eventually outlast Peeker's advantage and take that round 3-8. Now it's Peeker's advantage. It's their turn to go ahead and try to work with a economy disadvantage. Maui Snake and Davey holding down Long with Cutler, staying even more passive. Silent might be in for a nasty surprise if he bothers to peek his head. Peeker's advantage. It's a heads-up play by them. Simphus unfortunately going down as well. It's a heads-up play for them to be careful towards Long, knowing it was so easily exploited last round. But they still can't count anything out yet, especially when the fight might be coming to them. Davey looking around the corner. Not sure if... Yes, Silent is fully ready for it. Pops a head off of one and gets the second. Heads up play again from him. Getting ready for that potential crossfire that they had going. Not crossfire, that trade frag that they had going. Cutler, who is holding towards Long as a third man, unfortunately struggles to find that first shot, but ends up getting it. And on top of that, Swisher finds one with a deagle as well. Suddenly things have gotten a little bit interesting here. I, for the most part, counted Peeker's advantage out of it, but they might actually have a chance to get back into this one. Bomb is making its way over towards B, which is exactly what Mythic Reborn need to solidify round number 9 on the board here. It was a little bit scary for a moment. If they decide to commit to A, this could have been a very different round that we're seeing. Swisher and Cutler will both choose to hold on to their guns for now, and I think Mythic Reborn at this point can count themselves in for a 9th round. And what a way to do it as well. Again, very smart play by them to not go ahead and try to exploit Long 2 rounds in a row. Peeker's advantage did a fantastic adjustment to try to take care of that as much as possible. Unfortunately, it felt like the round was decided as soon as Silent got that very important double kill onto, I believe it was Davey and Maui Snake, who were trying to take care of Long. Hayes is making a lot of noise now, and I'm surprised Swisher wasn't ready for it. Cutler just barely going to stay alive with 15 HP. Didn't give up his life, but again, that's another op that Peeker's advantage are saving. Feels like they've been saving more ops than they've actually had rounds. Something needs to start changing soon, because the heroics from Simphus and Cutler is not something that you can count on to get all your round wins. They're at max loss bonus now, so money shouldn't be too much of an issue. On the side of Mythic, they're looking good. They're playing it very safe. Not trying to fly too close to the sun. But it's the same sort of a default setup that Mythic have going here. Katie towards B, and Calm sitting over towards blue as well, which Davey might look to enter, excuse me. Molotov out from Flom. That's going to go ahead and take care of the Long player. Cutler's in an interesting position right now. He has to be careful with how he peeks, and he does peek at just the right time. Takes down Silent. Another 4 versus 5 for Peeker's advantage now. Calm will go ahead and trade things out. Not before Maui Snake gets his word in. Man advantage still favors the CTs. As Bomb is down as well. Really, this is going to be kind of tough for Mythic to get back into, especially with Baby's strong position. I cannot believe Katie actually managed to get away with that frag. That is absolutely gigantic. It's a 2-on-3. Maui Snake perfectly takes down Katie, and this, okay, finally, this should be a 4th round on the board for Peeker's advantage. Hayes only has 30 seconds left on the clock. All it sometimes takes is just winning those very crucial fights. Maui Snake definitely stepping up for their team. It matters, I'd argue, matters the most. Definitely need to get some more rounds on the board, especially on a map like this. But Mythic Reborn, I believe they feel relatively confident with Overpass so far.
Counter-terrorists win.
Should be another round. It's another round on the board finally for Peeker's advantage. They make it 4. The best they can hope for at this point is a 9-6. It's not gorgeous, but it's all they can have to work with. It really felt like Mythic didn't exactly switch anything up, but really that shot from from Cutler to open things up was really the big decider in round number 13. We'll go ahead and give it another shot. This time Cutler is going to be going aggressive blue with his AWP. Sent this over towards B. Fight's being taken a lot more aggressively from Mythic Reborn this time around. Calm, he's no longer weighing by the ladder of blue. He's going full on aggressive. Not sure if they expect the op. So Calm might be in for a little bit of surprise, especially if Cutler makes any sort of scoping noise. Cutler will find that first. That's on to Calm. And he's going to be calling that out, that most likely they have all of blue control. However, Hayes is in an interesting position to take all of a site here. Has to hit that shot. Unfortunately, Sempus isn't able to get it. Maui Snake will go ahead and bail him out, but a fantastic Kobe nade from Hayes. He needs to start hitting this shot. Barely gets it in the end. A little bit scary from Hayes, but gets it done nonetheless here. 3-on-3, and Hayes has cracked this A site wide open. The bomb will be there soon after. Try to get it planted. Flom, go ahead and do his due diligence while Katie watches the flank. Keep an eye on how Katie is playing this, but all the action seems to be happening. Oh no, that's so unfortunate. The timing is just not there for Katie. Looks away at just the wrong moment. None of those fights went in favor of Mythic Reborn whatsoever, and because of that, Peeker's advantage will go ahead and take their 5th round. As we enter the final round of the half, Peeker's advantage finally starting to chain a couple together. And the money is starting to get relatively dry for Mythic Reborn now. They're going to put everything together that they possibly can on the 15th round. I can't exactly seeing them win this. They've surprised me before, though. With limited artillery, they did manage to get that round a little bit earlier on in the half. Let's see if they can remake history here. Sempus spots one. Good follow-up shot from him. Being careful not to blow his load too early. We'll find another. That's going to go ahead and even things up for now. But Flom, who is going to go ahead and try to take this fight with Sempus, absolutely playing with fire right now. Luckily, the timing is not in the favor of him. So Peeker's advantage now have pretty much all of that long control to themselves. Maui Snake jump spotting as per usual. He's been thorn in the sides of Mythic Reborn thus far. Mythic going back to vanilla sort of strategy. Calm will go down. Katie, unfortunately, isn't there to try to get any frag of some sort. Looks like they want to try stirring, or excuse me, want to take things over towards B. Hello, what is this from Mythic? Katie and Hayes will both pick up frags here, and Katie, she seems on a roll right now. If she can pick up Cutler, this should be a site that's just firmly in their grasp, but Flom will go ahead and get the job done. No rifle, no problem, it seems. Uses a Glock. Just as it needs to be done here. Maui Snake is the last one left alive. In a 1-on-2, finds the first one, and now needs to get the bomb planter. Flom is super low right now. He has a scout in hand, and it's a hard ask! And Maui Snake will actually win that. I've said that he's been a thorn in the side of Mythic Reborn, and this is no exception whatsoever. We'll go ahead and make it 6. So we have a 6-9 half here. Really heads up play by Maui Snake to go ahead and force those fights as soon as possible. And really, it felt like Mythic Reborn had a very strong stranglehold on the beginning of that first half, but weren't quite able to keep up the vigor. Short halftime break here. I'll go ahead and take a quick peek at the stats to see how the game has been going. Right now, topping the scoreboard is Hayes, who's sitting at 18 kills, 8 deaths and 1 assist, and 122 ADR. He's been absolutely fantastic. Meanwhile, the bottom, on the side of Peaker's advantage, is Swisher, sitting at 3-11, and only 1 RWS, but, you know, RWS doesn't quite dictate the world. I feel like Mythic, towards the end there, they kind of struggled to keep things fresh with their strat. Their default seemed to be, you know, that early B, that B control over towards Monster and over towards Blue. But I really feel like the rounds that were interesting for Mythic Reborn were, you know, those rounds where they switched things up, where they went long early and, what am I trying to say here? Excuse me, I'm stuttering over my own words, but where they went long early, for example, and really forced Peaker's advantage to play their game, force those adjustments. I'll have another chance this time on the CT half to go ahead and try to switch things up. Peaker's advantage have a disadvantage right now. And they're going to be going for a quick blue strat here. On the receiving side will be Silent, who hears quite a few sets of footsteps, but might not be able to get anything going because he is alone right now. If anyone were to come up long, he'd be in trouble. He's trying to isolate a couple of 1-versus-1 fights. I don't think Peaker's advantage have any idea, or if they do, it's going to be Sempis, who's unfortunately looking quite the wrong way. Silent, he hears a bunch of footsteps. I can't believe he's actually getting away with some of these frags right now. He's actually going to be able to find another before finally going down. It's a 3-on-3, and this is definitely a little bit of a scuffle of a round. Swisher, he's had a slow first half here, but he has the kills so far in this pistol round, sitting on 2. The 5 required. So if he can find one onto Hayes here, who has been lighting up the kill feed and lining up the scoreboard right now, that would be gigantic. The trades are there again from both sides. So really, it comes down to whoever wins this next fight, I would imagine here. Peaker's advantage really trying to force their advantage here, but Flom is ready to receive and gets both of them. Triple kill from him. That's how you want to do things. No more trades for the side of Peakers here. Mythic will go ahead and run away with a pistol as well. And really, it felt like Peaker's advantage had such a fantastic start as well as Swisher. Again, hasn't exactly had the best game thus far, but those 2 entries that he found were absolutely vital to even get Peaker's advantage as far as they did. Perhaps that switch up is exactly what the doctor ordered. Peaker's advantage will now have to go up against a relatively stronger economy of Mythic Reborn right now. They have plenty of guns to try to make things work. Aggressive deagle from Swisher is not what they need at the moment. Silent will go ahead and quickly take care of that. Davey holding to a similar spot of where Katie was holding. Go ahead and try to punish it. And hello, Sempis. Takes a little bit of damage. Unfortunately, isn't quite able to pick up a frag. With Davey and Cutler both having the remaining smokes on the side of the T, or excuse me, on the T side here, their options are very, very limited. Really, all they can hope for is some miraculous entry frag here. They might not be even granted that. Flom, who has that AUG in hand, tossing a couple of shots over towards mid. Good shot from Maui Snake. Quickly traded out by Katie or not! I cannot believe she didn't hit that shot. And again, this is where things start getting interesting. It's a 3-on-3. That should have been a given for Katie, but unfortunately, just Maui was good enough at spamming away with that deagle. Unfortunately, it looks like things might meet their logical conclusion soon or not! I can just never count anyone out here. Cutler, again, will find another 2-piece with a deagle, and the deagles are seriously the name of the game right now. Silent, in a 1-on-2, is in kind of a tough position, and Peaker's advantage. I cannot believe they got away with that round. It doesn't matter if they have a strong economy or not, just because some of the crazy deagle frags that some of these players are getting are just good enough, really. Excuse me, I had to go ahead and check something, but Mythic Reborn, this time it will be their time. Go ahead and try to make these deagles spark some sort of rejuvenance. Flash out towards mid. I would imagine it's going to be coming from Calm. Standard Molotov, though, that you see a lot. But Katie is on top of things. Finds a fantastic deagle shot. Meanwhile, over at the opposing site, Swisher will find one onto Silent, and unfortunately the FAMAS isn't going to do the trick for Katie, and she'll get taken down. 4-on-3, make it a 4-on-2, just like that. This is looking relatively standard as far as eco rounds go. They're keeping it competitive, though. It's a 3-on-2, and if Flom can find this kill onto Sempus, which surely he can't, right? He's struggling a little bit to get the frag, but yeah, okay. There we are. That is a little more like it. That's a little more of a standard anti-eco that you would expect in Peeker's advantage. Again, keeping things competitive, are going to be able to pick up an 8th. Definitely seeming a lot quieter this time around. But I can't say the same for Swisher. He's been doing a lot better in the second half. Already had more kills than he did in the first. This sort of switch up. Oh, that's not a good flash, unfortunately. I don't believe anything is going to be too wildly different this time around. I mean, yeah, this is just full eco from Mythic Reborn. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't decide to go for some sort of crazy stack or something, though. It is relatively common to see a full-on B stack if you're going to be going for a full eco, because I'm not exactly sure if Peeker's advantage were expecting a full pistol buy here. Judging by the amount of SMGs they had, I may indeed be wrong. But Mythic just want to keep it vanilla till the end, it seems. And they will go down with this ship. Katie and Hayes, last two alive. And Sempus is just honestly cleaning things up right now, building up a pretty fantastic bank with that Mac 10 and Stowe. Katie has to be careful. Good shot from Maui Snake. And Katie struggles a lot, and Maui Snake is able to get that 180. Unfortunate antics, and Maui Snake went down? How did he go down from that? That bomb was planted on the B site. What? Yeah, no shit, they're going to take a pause after that. That was very confusing. But I would imagine this is most likely a tactical pause rather than the technical. In the meantime, though, we can just kind of talk about how players have been doing. I feel like the highlights most definitely have been Cutler and Maui Snake, excuse me. Not hard to see why. Just when you look at the raw numbers, they're top fragging in the server by a good margin, or on their side at least. Davey and Swisher lagging behind a good amount, but still doing a relatively good job. Again, they are keeping this competitive. It's not over till it's over. Mythic Reborn, though, most definitely on the back foot now. They will have a full buy finally in for them. Silent opting for an MP9. That way he can get a little more utility to work with. No Augs. Seemingly enough. Not like overpass. Usually one doesn't hurt. Katie and Hayes trying to take early water control. This is already a switch up from what we were seeing. We're seeing not a lot of A presence, and by that I mean no A presence whatsoever. I'm not sure if Peeker's advantage have any idea of this thus far. Katie will soon rotate over, along with Com right behind her. Make her way back up to the A site, ready to receive any unwelcome guests whenever they may arrive. Davey might be the first one to knock on their door. As he slowly looking to find some sort of entry, or opening, excuse me. He will be setting up for A smokes. Pretty standard stuff. However, this is a tough situation for Mythic Reborn to be in. They don't have a lot of utility of their own, and what it is only comes in the way of flashes. Those flashes need to start going out soon, though, and really, they just ring out too late. Everyone is just dropping like flies right now. Bomb will get planted without any sort of struggle whatsoever. It's a 2-on-4, and I'm not even sure if... Yeah, Flom doesn't even seem to want to go for this one. Hazed seems a bit clocked out of this one as well. And we might be seeing an even game on our hands. Really, it just seems like the utility usage from the CT side is, at the very least, just a bit too liberal, I'd say. It feels like they're using it very early on these rounds, and Peeker's advantage. They managed to do a full execute onto the ESEA late into the round, plus have one player, Maui Snake, still survive at the very end with some utility remaining. So Piker's Advantage definitely have some more disciplined utility uses at the moment, as we have a tied game on our hands here. Mythic Reborn, they need to start switching stuff up. It might not be this round where it happens, though, considering that they're forced onto Deagles, the 2 saved rifles being their only accessories along with it. It's also important to keep in mind that Mythic, we're trying to switch something up, as we saw in the last round, but it was just kind of in the wrong way. That B stack didn't exactly seem necessary for how Piker's Advantage had been playing their T sides so far. Swisher, dangerous position from him. Hayes will find that first frag. That's onto Davey. M4 doing work. And the next player will be Semphis trying to peek his head. Has a bomb in hand as well. If Hayes were to find that frag, that would be a gigantic tell. But Hayes still has a ton of map control right now. Can't exactly say the same for Piker's Advantage towards A in particular. Hayes here's a flash go out, but a lot of action is happening over towards B, where Swisher is able to find 2 entry kills here, can't quite make it a third, and these Deagles are doing work for Mythic right now. This actually might be another round going in favor of them. I don't know what it is with these Deagles, but man, something in the server is making them just 10 times more effective than in any of my games. Bomb won't get planted over at A though, so Piker's Advantage. They're making lemonade out of lemons right now, but those lemons just might go sour soon. The rot is starting to grow on them as the CTs are soon starting to push in. They don't have any kits to work with, and really that's a silver lining here. Mythic finds one kill, not Mythic, Hayes finds 1 kill. Getting traded out by Cutler, who is the last remaining player. Again, there's no kit. Mythic need to try to switch this out as much as possible, and I believe, yeah, they should be good on time at this point. I can't see a world in which they lose this, but that was a bit too close for comfort for Mythic here. Again, I feel like it did come down a couple of times there to some really early utility advantage. Or, excuse me, some really liberal utility usage from Mythic Reborn. They also didn't have any kits, which was another worrying prospect of its own, which I'm hoping they will change up for this round. Katie will be the first one to go ahead and initiate things. Why? There's only 1 kit on the side of Mythic right now. Look at how stacked their players are for money. What is this? Okay, luckily Silent will go ahead and also pick one up, but Hayes, even though he's been having a fantastic game thus far, topping the scoreboard, no excuse to not buy a kit. Again, they're the ones playing in MDL, not me. I would be silly to go ahead and try to armchair analyze this one. Piker's Advantage. Now at a round disadvantage. What are you doing, Semphis? Okay, Semphis is... I thought he was trying to shoot at his teammate Swisher there. But Piker's Advantage, it looks like they're going for a lot more of aggressive water control this time around. Switch up, which I like from them. Smoke will go out. Hayes, or excuse me, Silent will go ahead and respond with the smoke of his own towards Monster, and Hayes will play passive over towards B as well. But the bomb is sitting over towards T-spawn right now, so we aren't most likely going to be seeing this execute for a good amount of time. I think Semphis has started to catch on to that. Maybe call for a pickup soon. Need to get that Uber. Calm will find that first frag onto Swisher, and this is a very, very tough situation for Piker's Advantage now. Again, the silver lining here is that Silent and the rest of Mythic just wasted a little bit of utility, but I mean, already at this point, it's most likely over. They don't have any map control really to speak of other than over towards Lung. Excuse me, I didn't even pay attention to this. I'm not sure if Mythic are going to be prepared for this, considering how small my brain is right now, but Hayes has to go ahead and deal with the 2 remaining Ts here. Thing is, though, he can take his time, or he can just pop off just like that. Picks up a 2K, excuse me, leaving it up to Cutler, 1 versus 3, and he's not even going to be able to have a chance in that round. Hayes saves it single-handedly for Mythic. I didn't even pay attention to all that long control that Piker's Advantage had going, but it all just got whisked away in a moment by Hayes, who steps up massively for his team, bringing them to 12. James Cobb. That's how you want to do it. Maybe seeing same old here from Piker's Advantage. Dropping bomb early towards blue. searching for a frag here. I like this aggressive attempt that Mythic were going for here. In particular, Flom didn't quite work out for them. And the aggression doesn't seem to be working on their favor at all, because go ahead, peek into them if you want. They have the advantage, it seems. Smoke will go down aggressively. And Katie actually lurking on the other side, finds one. Looking to pick up Maui Snake as well. Will be going for the Kobe nade right on top of him. Tags him down to 30 HP and tries to finish up the frag as well. Katie has been a fantastic linchpin in this round thus far. It's a 2 versus 2, and they're not out of the woods yet. Especially because Davey is ready and willing and able to backstab them at the most crucial moment here. And Mythic Reborn, they might be onto something here. I notice that how quiet they're being, so an A rotate is inevitable at this point. And this is a very, very sticky situation now for Mythic Reborn. Because Peeker's advantage, they have the entirety of the A site belonging to them. Peeker's, excuse me, but Mythic, you can't say the same for them whatsoever. They're still holding these same positions over and over again. When they hear that bomb go down, they'll start to realize that things have just gone horribly wrong here. It's a 2-on-2, so really, you just look at the sheer numbers. This isn't the end of the world. Bogdan's Law coming into effect there. Not really. Bogdan was just a bad player. Davey around the corner with this Krieg. Will be at least guaranteed one. It's up to Katie. And a 1-on-2 now. Bomb is pretty far ticked. I can't exactly see her getting away with this one. Making a lot of noise and will lose her life. Peeker's advantage got another one on the board thanks to some miraculous rotates by them. Absolutely perfectly played. Sometimes it doesn't matter how many kills you get when info is really just a huge decider. Really, I have to say a lot of that round was all thanks to Davey. And just how he managed to make his way through CT spawn, through A site, and over towards B, and was just able to find out exactly where the two Mythic Reborn players were playing. Gorgeous stuff by them. And that's not a gorgeous start for Peeker's advantage, though. Silent perhaps a little bit angry about how that last round went down, excuse me. Maui Snake will go ahead and try to respond with one as soon as he possibly can. Unfortunately, he misses the shot. Cutler is quick on the draw and takes him out. Katie will be the second person in here. And we'll take care of Cutler. Cutler wasn't quite ready for that one. Silence is a virtue. Bomb is picked up. Rotated, I would imagine, over towards A, right? Oh, I think they might have just counted themselves out of this round. Look how Davey's just trying to... He's struggling. Davey. Yeah, are you just not going to go for that? Well, he definitely tried, but I don't believe he can throw guns over there. But he could just toss on that part of grass behind him, and I think it would do just fine. I might be wrong. But I can't blame him for going for something like that. An op in the hand will most definitely complement Flom. Speaking of which, we'll toss out a flash. Fortunately, finds no one but gives up a little information. And that information is just going to be a complete ruse. The rotates. Oh, they're at the complete wrong site for Mythic here. They just went ahead and gifted Peeker's advantage to the B site here. They should be almost guaranteed a free bomb play at this point. Perhaps a little bit more. Swisher takes down Flom. Oh, this has gone terribly wrong for Mythic now. A Kobe undehazed. Doesn't make things any sweeter. It's just a bitter taste in their mouth. Smoke will slowly fade. Katie will be on the other end of it. Tries to find one, but Swisher again steps up massively. Again, had a super quiet half, but has really been lighting it up. Really, this is where it matters the most here. 12-12 right now. Things are scarily close. Hayes is still doing a fantastic job for his team right now, sitting at 27 kills. Isn't quite enough to push him over the finish line just yet, it seems, and I believe he actually might see Peeker's advantage getting away with a round here. Considering they're up against a full eco of Mythic, this is a almost guaranteed win for Peekers here, especially with how relatively safe they're playing this as well. Swisher is perhaps in a rough situation, but oh, he's just trying to go for the info play, just playing with your food. Don't you know it's bad manners to do that? Davey, we'll go ahead and make things a little more normal though, and really, again, this is about as standard of an anti-eco as you could imagine. We might be seeing 13 on the board for Peeker's advantage, bar any insane heroics, which we won't even bother seeing here. No one took any damage on the side of Peeker's. I have no idea how none of those shots from Hayes didn't connect. Sure, he might not have been guaranteed a kill, but surely like a frag at least. Or a little bit of damage at least. Peaker's Advantage have started to get their advantage going. No peaks required. Flom has been having a quiet game so far on this AWP, which is definitely not the person you want to have quiet in your server. But he is someone with a wealth of experience that I can see popping off at any given moment. Interesting setup. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Cutler will go ahead and Flom will go ahead and take care of Cutler over towards long. We're trying for some aggressive play, and KD might be in for a little bit of tough times here. Swisher will be the first base here. Shadow is not going to do them any favors, isn't quite able to get the second, and Flom now knows that there's at least one player, most likely two, over towards long. I'm not sure if she spotted the bomb, though. And that could perhaps change things up here. Mythic Reborn. It's really hard to tell exactly who I can favor in this round, considering the map control favors Peaker's Advantage right now, and that's just all going to get whisked away as soon as Semphis goes down. Maui Snake being the next one to fall, leaving it up to Davey 1-on-4 here. He's had some huge information plays before, just earlier on in this half. He has a lot of utility, but now he needs to start getting some frags right behind these big brain plays. Lots of utility on the board for Mythic Reborn. I think this is done and dusted. We should be seeing an even game here, and there it is. No doubts and no chance for Davey. 13-13 is what we're looking at. And I really like that Mythic were able to get around on the board here that didn't require any crazy heroics from Hayes. Perhaps a little bit of weight off his back. But Mythic have to keep this up. Maui Snake on the side of Peaker's Advantage has been doing a fantastic job of his own right, sitting at 22 frags. Definitely not someone I've ever heard of, but man, they've been doing fantastic. Flom will start things off. Again, this is what I'm talking about. This is why you can never count him out. Wealth of experience pops up at just all the right moments. But the Peaker's Advantage are going for a quick B execute here. Calm is going to be on the receiving end. Over towards barrels here. That Snake does her job just fine. Hayes is also able to pick up a frag of his own. And it's Cutler versus 4 here. Finds 2, actually. But still a 1-on-3 here. Almost a 1-on-2, but Hayes luckily able to get that frag. And it's back to business for Hayes here, sitting on 29 kills. Mythic Reborn, they're inching ever closer to taking this match. And really, you have to say it was a fantastic attempt for Peaker's Advantage. I like the way that they're trying to switch up and go aggressive towards B, but really there's no pressure on the player over towards barrels. There's no Molotov, and I believe that if they did toss a smoke, it was missed, so they have to be pretty miffed about that one. And Katie, aggressive blue here. Here's a bunch of footsteps, but is she ready for the falls here? There's one player, but is she ready for the second? Unfortunately, no. Semphis will be able to trade it out. Picks up an AK for their trouble. Hayes now at least knows where one is. Flom will go ahead and take care of that before it becomes more of a problem. However, Maui Snake, again, just this everlasting thorn on the side, takes on Hayes, top fragging player for Mythic Reborn right now. This allows Peaker's Advantage to have a little bit of room to play with. It's rotated over towards B. And Silent, I'm not sure if he's ready for this, because he has a lot weighing on his shoulders right now. How he plays this is perhaps what's separating his team from going up on 15, and it's not going to look good for him whatsoever here. Both players go down. It's up to Flom, 1-on-3, and I'm not even sure if he wants to go for something like this. It's almost an impossible ask, and I'm imagining Flom is just going to go ahead and try to save this gun. But really, Peaker's Advantage, I've noticed their mid-round calls have been pretty fantastic, honestly. And they have a good read on where some of these players are. They seem to be able to play it by the book just fine. Flom finds an exit frag onto Maui. And we're so close to seeing a team ace from Peaker's Advantage, interestingly enough. Unfortunately, Davey went down, so that dream is ruined. Round number 14 on the board for Peaker's Advantage. This match is going the distance. This is absolutely crazy so far. We're not done just yet here. Mythic, they have to force up everything that they possibly can right now. It's kind of do or die at this point. play for overtime or play to lose. They will be buying up everything, as I aforementioned. Com and Katie. Looks like Katie is going to be setting up for a flash play. Decides against it at the last moment. Flom doesn't want to go ahead and try that out for now. Maui Snake, aggressive! Oh, that's a fantastic wallbang from Com. That takes down Maui Snake, and that's a huge frag, actually, for Mythic Reborn here. Again, as I mentioned so many times, Maui Snake has been incredible in this game thus far. One of the top fraggers on his team. But it's 4 versus 5, and again, not out of the woods yet for Mythic Reborn here. There's still a lot more possibly go down. If we can get Flom here, then we might see another even game on our hands here. Bomb goes down at the hands of Flom here. Knows exactly where his second one is. Finds the shot as well. Cutler finally responds with a kill of its own. But Flom is this everlasting, amazing player right now. He stepped up massively, especially in this round here. He's on for a quad kill. Davey versus the world here, and I'm not even sure if he'll be able to find this kill. Flom stepped up when it matters the most, and he'll make it a quad. Flom, that's how you want to do it. Puts Mythic on 15. And that's exactly what was absolutely necessary. When it matters the most, I gave Flom a little bit of flack before for how he said he was having a quiet game, but my god, is that a way to make some noise. Peeker's advantage now. They're the ones on some... on a weak buy, excuse me. Swisher will go ahead and pick up the AK, the only rifle on his team. They're going to go ahead and try to make this as quick as possible. Flom, who was playing over towards bathrooms, has actually rotated over towards long and over towards sight, indeed. Flom is at a dangerous angle, though. Oh, but that nade could be huge here. Finds quite a bit of damage onto Davey. Isn't quite enough, but puts him within one-shot range of that M4. Which could be big in its own right here. Here is a potential last fight that we could be seeing here, or perhaps not. Swisher actually finds the first frag onto Katie. This fast pace is doing wonders for Peeker's advantage. They get that bomb down, and Flom, he's stuck into a pretty tough position right now, and is really struggling to get this kill. It's a 2-on-3 here. All remaining members of Peeker's advantage, though, are on low HP, and so they might have something to work with here. It's all on silent, and it's not going to be it. Peeker's advantage. They get 15. We are going to be going into overtime here. Mythic Reborn, that was their round to lose, and indeed they did do it. And really, that fast pace has been so lethal for Peeker's advantage. That fast blue play, no response whatsoever. Katie unable to get the frags as they're just rushing into the A site. Flom forced to back up into bank. Absolutely crazy heroics from Swisher, as well as all of his teammates, and I have to really give big props to Swisher right now. He had such a slow start, but really was lighting it up in that second half, allowed them to make it to overtime in the first place. But things are going to get interesting very, very soon here. No break, Riz heading right back into the action here. Both teams being able to full buy here. Standard Molotov, or excuse me, flash and nade going out over into Flom's head. Tags him down to 43. Cutler with a flash out. Swisher will go ahead and turn around just in time here. The trade is quick from Semphis, and Maui Snake will also pick up another one. B site belongs to Mythic, or excuse me, belongs to Peeker's advantage now. And Katie, I'm not sure if she has any idea of where Maui Snake is playing, and unfortunately, she learns just a bit too late. 3 versus 2. It's not over yet, though. It's Flom. He's in an aggressive position. They want to go for this. If we can find a frag, perhaps onto something like Semphis, this is perhaps winnable. They have a low base utility to work with here, but they need to start using it relatively soon. Flash will go out. Smoke soon to be right behind it. But again, they need to start getting on the bomb. The bomb is so far ticks. He's! What are you doing there? You're playing with your food perhaps a little bit, and Cutler is able to finish things off. That reeked of an undisciplined retake, and unfortunately, they're going to get punished for that. Peeker's advantage go up on 16. Hazed, unfortunately, just a little bit late on pulling out his gun. That utility used just quite a bit too late as well. It was a very good attempt from them, but isn't quite enough to secure the round. Double op setup being brought out from Mythic Reborn this time. Silent picking it up. Not something we've seen from him quite too much this half. Or this game, rather. Flom will find the first frag. That's over towards mid. Good start. Davey gets taken down. Davey has been relatively quiet. Had a quiet game, and hello, Katie. Where'd you come from? Takes on Semphis. And this is looking fantastic for Mythic Reborn, just like that. 5 versus 3, and we're not even a minute in. Or, excuse me, yeah, we're not even a minute in. However, things will go back to normal, even if just slightly, as Swisher takes on Silent. Maui Snake will find another, and we're back to a 3-on-3, just like that. Flom puts things back in their favor here, but they need to stop throwing away these advantages that they have. It's a little bit scared, but luckily Flom will go ahead and drag them back into this. Maui Snake will pick up the bomb and rotate over towards B, I would imagine, where Swisher is trying to entry and finds a fantastic kill onto Katie. Sitting at 2, looking to double that amount as they enter into the B site. It's a 2-on-2. Maui Snake getting ready to trade out their teammate Swisher, which might be necessary, as Calm is holding a strong angle with an AUG here. I'm surprised he's not scoped in. I guess he just wants to wait for the action to actually happen. I like how slow Peeker's Advantage are playing this, though, because it's just going to go ahead and start leading to some mind games. Oh, what a shot from Swisher! Absolutely crazy. Finds a fantastic one-tap onto the man. Bomb will get planted. And just like that, Advantage snatched away. And round snatched away for Peeker's Advantage. Swisher in a very interesting position right now. Flom is stuck in a 1-on-2 here. This is a very, very rough position for him. I would be surprised if he actually manages to get away with even one frag here, just because I know his exact position. He's actually going to be gifted with one. I have no idea where Swisher is. Swisher, a quad kill in this round. Again, I can't help but just notice how he's been so effective. And not only the second half, but this overtime as well. Really have dragged Peeker's Advantage into this one. This is going to be the last round of the first half of overtime here. Soon after, we will be switching sides. Peeker's Advantage will go back to normal. Quick blue play. I think Katie hears a lot of that, though, but how will she play this? Because he knows one player. Let's push through, and that's Maui Snake. Oh, but that fantastic nade. I'm not exactly sure who that was from, but my god, that's exactly where you want a nade to be. Katie, still sitting in blue here. She actually finds one kill before getting taken down, so that's a good start. It's a 4-on-3. Maui Snake, most likely at this point, just looking to get traded out. Bomb is down, but can easily be retrieved from Peeker's Advantage. Overpass is their playground right now. I can't really see them hesitating on anywhere where they want to execute, especially when the deal gets much sweeter with a kill like that. And what is that? I'm not sure why Maui Snake didn't choose a shoot there, but luckily Davey will go ahead and finish things up here. A triple for him. 18-15. Peeker's Advantage only 1 round away now from taking this match here. He's so close to the very, very end, but once overtime came around, Peeker's Advantage just looked like a completely different team. However, where they really struggled was on the CT's side. And from there, I'm not really sure how they're going to do. If you remember that first half when Peeker's Advantage were on the CT, it was 9-6 that we looked at. And I'm not sure who disconnected. Huh. Interesting. We have a disconnect from Swisher. Nonetheless, though, I really want to give a huge props to the man who actually just left. I can't help but to sing his praises some more. There's so many times where he just came in clutch for his team. Meanwhile, on the side of Mythic Reborn, it's hard not to give props to Hayes, who has been laying up the scoreboard right now. I believe sitting at something like 34 kills, I would imagine. 31, excuse me. But has had a fantastic game. I'm looking to continue that into the second half of overtime. Other props to Davey as well. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the stats for everyone and see what's been going on. One moment, please. There we are. One moment. So yeah, definitely Also, some very key moments from Flom as well. Just, it feels like when it comes to individual performance, Mythic has had their share of like highlight plays. I mean, I look back to Flom getting that incredible 4K that we saw earlier. Haste as well with his multiple multi-kill rounds that he had. And also Calm with that quad kill that I believe he had a bit earlier on. A few clutch wins as well. I believe Katie won 1 versus 2, and it was either Silent or Hazed, I believe, who won the other. I can actually just check stats right now. But really, those individual plays kind of seem all in vain right now if they're struggling this much. Again, want to give another shout out to how Maui Snake has been playing on the side of Peaker's advantage, and really also a shout out to all of you guys for watching this. See that I have a relatively decent amount of viewers right now. It has been a long time since I have casted. Well, casted this much outside of a local LAN that I do, so not exactly ready for the flow of casting, but I'm hoping to slowly get back into it and do more matches as time goes on. I hope you guys are enjoying the match thus far, because I sure as hell have a fair amount of crazy plays so far. Still waiting on Swisher. I'm thinking we should toss it to a quick break real quick as we wait for him to return. I'll be right back. I'll see you guys soon.
I can't be alone here. I can't be the only one who feels like I'm going nowhere. Just wishing somehow this dream will carry me, and I'll swear just one last time. They say the world is yours, so I'ma make it mine. 'Cause nothing is stopping you. You could set the world on fire. Nothing is stopping you. And if I go out, I'll go out screaming.
Well, just like that, we're finally going to head right back into the game. Just a quick overlay change, and bam, we're right back into it. Second half of this overtime here. Mythic Reborn, they're up against the wall right now, and they're going to have to perform. Peaker's advantage are pulling out all the stops, a double up for Davey and Semphis, respectively. Early Molotov over towards mid. Pretty standard stuff for the CT so far, but where things start getting interesting is this triple blue play from Peaker's advantage. This is something very different. We have not seen this from them whatsoever when they played their CT side. Calm doesn't know how close to danger he is right now. Neither does Flom, it seems. Mythic, they're playing this slow. Not quite slow enough, though. Silent will actually go ahead and find a double kill here. Perhaps he might be able to find a first round on the board. They have that two-man advantage, exactly what they need. Flom will go ahead and find another one. That's on the Semphis. Maui Snake and Swisher, the two people that I've given so much praise so far on the side of Peaker's advantage, now have to do it all versus the entirety of Mythic Reborn here. But that is much too tall of an order, I'm sure. Bomb is rotating over towards A. where the site is completely cracked open. I believe Peeker's advantage. I don't even want to mess with this at all. If they do, they're just going to get taken care of immediately. Silent absolutely carried that round, really, I have to say. Did a fantastic job. And I believe Swish is actually going for this. It is overtime, so I guess there's no harm in doing it. But when Katie and Hayes throw onto you like that, there's no doubt you're going to go down quickly. It's not over yet, but still backs against the wall for Mythic Reborn now. Mythic are going to have to get 3 straight rounds here if they want to at least force a second overtime. At this point, they have to go to double overtime if they want to go ahead and win this match. Which then the magic number will be 22, but don't want to count our chickens before they hatch. Peeker's advantage will be going back to El Clasico. Deciding to get rid of the double op, and Semphis pays the price for trying to go ahead and look for that aggressive blue peak and eats up about a third of his HP thanks to that Molotov. We'll rotate over towards bathrooms where Cutler will be there to watch his teammates back. Davey has full water control, but this is business as usual for Mythic Reborn, really. Katie holding over towards B, and Flom and Hayes over towards mid. Actually interesting, Hayes is actually over towards long this time around, so perhaps they want to go ahead and try to do a long execute. Flom, ooh, he's alone here, and I'm really scared if he loses that fight, but luckily, well, it's ironic, isn't it? But Peeker's advantage is on the side of Flom here, and now Cutler, he's a bit scared because he's stuck in bathroom right now. He wants to find Flom and will get granted the frag. However, Calm, who's waiting in bathroom, should be able to take care of this without any problem whatsoever here. It was a little bit scary for a moment, but the frag goes through for him, 3-on-4. 40 seconds left to go, and Bomb is getting rotated out from Hayes. And what is this from Davey? Interesting position. He's still being a pretty strong presence over in water. Being very careful not to peek really any angles whatsoever. Maui Snake will find 1 kill onto Silent. It's now 3-on-3, but the bomb site is just about to be taken very soon. Oh, well, that's so unfortunate from Calm. Looks away at just the wrong time, and suddenly this has gone from bad to worse in a moment's notice here. It's going to be Katie versus 3, but she'll only find 1 before getting taken down. Oh, that's so unfortunate. 19-16 will be the final score. Peeker's advantage will take that. Fantastic play from them, really. But that is going to be the end of things. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to go ahead and call the stream for now. I might go ahead and do the second game, but I really do feel a little bit rusty about getting back into casting, especially at home. This is my first ever cast doing it from home, so I'm a little bit out of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I might see you guys soon. If not, thanks for browsing, and thanks for watching.
For now you can stay right here, we will play until somehow you can find a slightly different frame of mind. Right here in my arms, away from all harm. You'll be safe from all the flares, although I know you don't care. Take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly